Call of Duty meets Rimfires in the new discipline that will have you shooting from rooftops and in and out of trees.
It was a brainchild of a late night conversation where we wanted a gable end on a roof, all part of our crazy plans to sort of make this a world-class event.
Best shotguns for women, we asked the dynamic ladies what they use.
I call it the Harry Potter moment. You'll pick up a gun and you'll literally be like, whoa, this is the one.
At work in Westminster, here's what shooting organisations are doing to promote our sport.
How can I help promote and secure the future of shooting?
David is on the Fieldsports Channel news stump. Welcome to Fieldsports Britain.
This may be the Shooting World Championships you have not heard about. The first precision rifle Rimfire World Champs was in Italy in 2023. In 2024, precision rifle shooters held their centerfire championships in Colorado, USA. Now it is August 2025 and the planet's fastest and most accurate are battling it out at the second ever precision rifle Rimfire World Championships in Shropshire. They're holding it at the West Midlands Shooting Ground, which has closed off part of its clay range, brought in the builders and put up a world-class precision rifle course.
The US have brought a full contingent, as have the South Africans, the Aussies, and there's a lot of big teams have turned up, and some of the, as is fitting, the very best shooters in the world are here.
Off the last counting, it's something like 21 countries and 256 shooters. So we were meant to have a couple more countries come, but they dropped out last minute, unfortunately.
And have you had to kind of coordinate them all? And I mean, how do they get their guns through?
That's one of the, not the headache, that's actually been one of the easiest part is getting the permits for them. I can't emphasise how amazing Devon and Cornwall have been. Devon and Cornwall police have managed every single one of our permits and they have been absolutely amazing.
It's supposed to be terrible.
I mean, I can't speak for some of those things I'm hearing, but our experience with them has been absolutely tremendous. The guys in the visitor permit department have just been absolutely stellar, even turning around things in a couple of days, because when people have changed rifles, not realising the complexity of UK law, you know, I've just bought a new rifle, can you just add that to my permit? No, we need about 8 weeks lead time, but those guys are just like, they would just turn them around so quickly and so efficiently.
The UK has put a complete team in, so that's 6 men's open, 4 factory shooters, 4 ladies, 4 juniors and 4 seniors. And the competition for the places on the UK team was really tight. Going back to 2 years ago when we had just 2 ladies, there were 9 ladies took part in this qualification process, along with, we had, I think it was 6 juniors as well. So it's great to see our junior boys. It's predominantly a boy dominant team this time, although we've got some of the girls coming through for next year.
The first day was quite hard. The wind was much harder than I anticipated. Bit of a rough start. I got better and better. I had one really bad stage that probably cost me second place, but you know, it's just what happens. You know, it's just have to move on.
Holly Duggan is one of the stars of the GB team. She explains how precision rifle is a sport from over there, which is now doing well over here.
It's quite an American-dominated sport. It's come from there. They have more matches in a month than we probably have in a year. But yeah, no, it's growing in the UK, particularly 2-2.
It's very established in the US. Canada, it's picking up since 2020, around that time. With Europe, I think it's a little newer in Europe, but UK seems to have jumped leaps and bounds. And they're like on par with the US now, so it's great seeing how much it's improved.
We're lucky we've got Paint Mines, which is kind of Carnforth Way. We've got Dermot Valley at York. We've got 01, which is down south, and a couple of others.
The course here is wooded with a hill in the centre. There are changes in elevation and wind that can be challenging to read. The furthest target is 250 metres and there are 20 scored stages over 4 days. Ben Wood is one of the course builders.
It's sort of come from nowhere. We had a sort of woodland that was used for primarily clay shooting. I think it's quite a famous area of woodland. And yeah, we transformed it into what I think everyone would agree is a world-class rimfire venue. The ground have been fantastic. Tom, Deb, Owen and Jess have all been really welcome as a family. Yeah, we've been so lucky with the relationship we've built with them, and sort of I think what we've been able to deliver on the back of that is sort of, yeah, I think it's pretty good.
How easy would it be for other clay grounds to put up a course like this?
I think, honestly, with a little bit of work involved, I think it would be really achievable, especially on a scale where you didn't have to host sort of 300 competitors. For a UK-based series, it would be really easy. So if anyone's keen to do it, I think it's definitely a sort of a thing to look at.
He's especially proud of his rooftop.
It was a brainchild of a late night conversation where we wanted a gable end on a roof, and it sort of came from there. Yeah, it was all part of our crazy plans to sort of make this a world-class event.
There is plenty of technique in this sport, and it is good for your shooting whatever other disciplines you shoot.
I've been really lucky to be in a squad with Camden Powers, who's the ladies champion, and she has the most insane trigger presses. Everything is perfect every time.
So I grew up around firearms, shooting with my dad. He's the one that taught me about firearm safety, rifle safety, and I started competing in 2020, and I was trained by a retired Army sniper. And I think just from the very beginning of my competing career, I always strived for really good fundamentals. So I'm gripping my grip with this hand, and then this thumb is pressed up against my thumb rest, and this basically makes a perfect straight. I touch the trigger first stage and then second stage. And there are times where sometimes I will bend this joint right here, and I can tell, because like that's almost my lazy trigger pull when I bend this. I prefer to have it straight, so then it's the same pull every single time, versus this, you kind of pull like this way or even this way.
The competition is also a great showcase for practical, accurate rimfires, as well as a few crazy ones. This member of the Czech team is sponsored by Anschutz.
We are all together, whole group, and we are trying to represent our rifles that are shooting very precisely. So we are honored to be there for representing them.
Anschutz is using the competition to launch its new 1727 APR range of rifles, which come in a choice between a heavy and a lightweight aluminium chassis, 3 kilograms lighter. Lenka uses the heavy version.
The heavy one because it's perfect when you just switch the magazines. It's nicely heavy when you just put it away. And then for sure you are aware that you're having them with you because they are so heavy. And I would say that it's working so properly with the rifle, with the whole chassis, that is also from the same material, so therefore it's fitting perfectly, and I'm really happy for that. It's all about the weight. When you go on the position, you need to be stable, and that gun is so heavy like hell, but stable like hell, so that's perfect.
Then there's the human side of it. Shooters out on the course often have support from national team members who finished their shooting yesterday. Great Britain's Josh Martin is out to look after a mate.
So today I'm here helping Ben McElwain. He's shooting open class today. I shot all my factory scores yesterday. Currently there are 2 or 3 people in front of me that just need to drop 1 or 2 points, and then that will put me into a bronze overall for the World Championship.
Ben shoots this one well, but makes an error right at the end.
It's a very quick stage. Out of breath. Just trying to be really deliberate and make good shots early on. And it's just one of those things that's a very close one. And yeah, it's a fine margin between trying to be deliberate and careful, and on a fast stage like that. So yeah, happy with an 11 on there.
On a nearby stand, based around a tree with a low branch, Ryan Charlton is faring better. He straights it.
Yeah, it's pretty good. Some small targets. You can definitely see some of them being missed. So pleased to get that one, and we're on the home straight now. Looking forward to finishing and seeing how everything shakes out. Stressful? No, I love it. The stress is what you feel when you deserve to be here, and it means you care about it. So everybody here has worked really hard. everybody here is some of the best and the very, very best in the world.
Everyone is expecting an American winner, and there's a reason for that. Here's top US shot and fellow YouTuber Jason Nedved.
I came here probably 3 days before the competitions and then get used to the range. I was able to come here, do a little bit of practice. I even came early a month ago and shot as well to different stages, but just to see what the range is about, the high angles, stuff like that. So that was a big help for getting your mindset right, knowing my paperwork is right, the rifle's good, the ammo's good, everything is spot on for coming here for this big event. It's just one less thing to stress about. I shot yesterday, shot factory, and I did really well. Had a rough day 1, but then day 2 came together, and I always do better on day 2, so that worked out. Had a good time. Finished strong. I want to go home finishing strong. I think the key is our availability to shoot ranges. We can shoot in our backyard. Like my backyard, I got targets already set up permanent. 50 yards, 100 yards, 190, 275. That's just for my rimfire. For centerfire, we can shoot out to 600 yards just from my backyard. So for us, all I do is grab my gun, walk 10 yards, 10 meters, whatever, and then I'm right there. I can shoot. Any weather, if it's windy out, go shoot a couple rounds. If it's nice out, go shoot a couple rounds, make sure zero's on. It's just the availability, I think, is why we strive so much more.
As the last day progresses, it becomes clear that the top score may go not to an American, but an Australian, Michael Blackburn.
He's got 7 points clear, basically, is what I'm saying. So he's up there, yeah.
So we've only got an hour or so to go. Can he be caught?
Oh, that I don't want to say, because that's a question you can't ask, Charlie. Sorry, no.
Everyone is still biting their fingernails as Bergara shooter Michael steps up for the last stand.
Impact. Impact.
Impact.
Yeah!
Attaboy, backers!
Pretty amazing. I shoot a lot of rabbits and I have a range very close, luckily, so yeah.
Hell of a way to come to do the same thing. And
yeah, well, I came here with a goal and that was to win, so yeah, I didn't know if it was achievable, but yeah, that was my goal and I bloody done it.
Well done, Blackers. Matt Stein from the USA is second, and the GB's Josh Martin is third. Josh goes on to win the factory division for Team GB. The USA wins Team Golds in men's open, senior and ladies divisions. GB's Holly Duggan wins bronze in the ladies competition. Follow the link below for the full scores. The GB team finishes second overall, Canada in third, and the winning team is USA. America's shooters know they are under pressure for the next Rimfire Championship in 2027.
thank you all who took part in that. It was great seeing a relatively new shooting discipline getting such international support. Next up, not so good on support, but he does lift and separate. It's David on the Fieldsports Channel News Stump.
This is Fieldsports Channel News. After the biggest wildfire season the UK has ever known, the Westminster government has doubled down on its muir burn bans. DEFRA announces it's using its notoriously inaccurate peat map of the UK, which it put together with artificial intelligence, to extend the legal burning ban from 220,000 hectares of land to nearly 700,000, what it calls an area the size of Devon. It's ignoring pleas from fire chiefs to allow cold burning in order to create fire breaks. The extension comes into force from the 30th of September 2025. Before Keir Starmer sacked him last week, DEFRA Minister Daniel Zeichner spoke up for the ban.
DEFRA works with others to protect moorland by restoring peatland, managing grazing and reducing practices which in some cases can be harmful, such as burning. These steps make peatland wetter and help reduce the impact of wildfires.
Kent Police have arrested a man for causing unnecessary suffering by shooting a catapult.
Get yourself dressed, mate. You're coming with us today, okay? Time is 21 minutes past 7. You're under arrest for causing unnecessary suffering to a protected animal, causing unnecessary suffering to a wild mammal, and killing a wild bird.
The police appear to have made the arrest using animal welfare legislation instead of poaching laws. They also seized a collection of homemade catapults. Kent Police's Rural Task Force were responding to reports of videos on social media appearing to show animals including birds and a squirrel being fired at and killed. A 21-year-old man from Sevenoaks was later arrested pending further inquiries. Thanks to Greg Hill for the story, which was reported by ITV. The Scottish Government is considering banning greyhound racing. Green MSP Mark Ruskell introduced a private members' bill after adopting an ex-racing greyhound. He claims he now has the backing of the ruling SNP for his new law. The committee which discussed it took place in private. Thanks to Ed Swales for the story. Major UK catering company Levy is going all out for venison. The firm, which supplies food and beverage at venues including Tottenham Hotspur's White Hart Lane ground and the NEC at Birmingham, says it's planning a range of wild venison products. In this video, it teams up with Eat Wild. There's a new gun bling service in Lancashire. Lavish Arms is a bespoke firearms company dedicated to restoring the beauty and heritage of old guns while transforming them into unique customised pieces. It can take your old gun and make it golden, like this one. Visit lavisharms.co.uk. In Australia, the New South Wales Premier came close to backing a right to hunt, but then backtracked. Chris Minns is supporting a bill backed by recreational hunters, which encouraged them to shoot feral animals on public lands. He has pulled away from a commitment to a central element of the Shooters and Fishers Private Members Bill, enshrining a right to hunt, saying it could undermine gun control and send the state down the US path of a right to bear arms. Staying down under and in Western Australia, which is trying to ban private gun ownership, their first state aerial cull has been a disaster. The West Australian government is defending a cull of feral deer, saying it carried out a targeted cull in July and August, where helicopter teams used thermal cameras to help it eliminate 524 deer. A local hunter posted photographs of dead deer he found on Crown land, with an average of 4 bullets in each one. Thanks to Richard Taylor for the story. A Markhor hunting permit has sold for a record $370,000. This is the first time that a permit has topped 100 million Pakistani rupees. A local hunting safari outfitter bought the permit for the rare Himalayan goat. The survival of the species is entirely paid for by hunting tourism. The auction for the 2025-26 season, held at the Forests, Parks and Wildlife Complex, was for permits for 118 animals, including 4 Aster Markhors, 100 Himalayan ibex and 14 blue sheep. Thanks to Per Helmseth for the story. Colombia is considering allowing capybara hunting. According to the Spanish newspaper El País, the Colombian government is mulling whether to allow the hunting of the world's largest rodent. It's looking at a cull target of up to 10% of the population per year. And finally, seeing is believing. Northants Hunt Sab Group says it disrupted the Pytchley hunt and saved a fox. It posted an image of a fox running across a field. Google reveals this is the same fox that's for sale on the photo library Shutterstock, remarkably running across the same field, using exactly the same path. Uncanny. You are now up to date with Fieldsports Channel News. Stalking the stories, fishing for facts. Fieldsports Channel members get more. Every week there's Fieldsports Extra, our exclusive show packed with behind-the-scenes clips, interviews and a free prize draw. Plus, membership gives you access to our Fieldsports Advice Bureau for help with shooting and firearms licensing, with our in-house lawyer on your side. And with our insurance, you're covered for £5 million public liability for shooting activities across the UK, as well as legal expenses cover. Join today so we can keep the pressure on and the volume up.
This week's Fieldsports Extra prize draw is for goodies from the Rimfire World Championship and a voucher to spend at the West Midlands Shooting Ground. Here's Tom Jones.
So you've got optics, some shooting tuition maybe, gun slips, hearing protection, clothing, of course, all the usual brands. We charge £40 for a caddied round for 100 clays.
Find out how to enter the draw to win it on Fieldsports Extra, which you can watch by signing up as a member on our website, fieldsportschannel.tv, and there's a link to the West Midlands Shooting Ground website below. Talking of competitions, the fieldsportscompetitions.co.uk raffle this week includes gin. Here is the man who makes it.
Hi guys, it's Jake here from 11's Distillery. The Shooter Select box, it's a subscription box. We're running from October through to March, so one box will be delivered to your cells every month. It features one of our 70cl award-winning bottles of slow gin or damson gin. We're going to have some fantastic salamis in there. We're going to have some cheeses. They're going to be country products and they're going to be Welsh artisan products. We really appreciate the support.
Thanks, Jake. Visit fieldsportscompetitions.co.uk for that one. Next, which shotgun works for which shape of a woman? We join the dynamic ladies on a clay shoot to find out.
More and more women are taking up shotgun shooting. The latest figures show there are more than 30,000 female shotgun certificate holders in the UK. That's nearly 7% of the total and growing all the time. Looking at this group, it's easy to see why. Shooting coach Marianne Troop has brought her Dynamic Ladies Shooting Club for a simulated game day on the edge of the South Downs in Sussex, and they're loving it.
We have all levels of experience today. We have complete beginners who are obviously stood with someone that is experienced, a shotgun licence holder or an instructor. And it gives them the opportunity to just see what it's all about. We also have really experienced shooters that are shooting pretty much everything that's coming over them. So it's all different levels, which is great.
JDJ Sporting's Dom Bentley is happy to see this group enjoying themselves.
Yeah, if there was a prize this season for the noisiest group, they would be a serious contender. Next week we've got another noisy group. They like to whoop and cheer. But so far the ladies are ahead as it comes to enjoying themselves. We've got a mixed ability team today, and that's part of our job, or my job, is to provide something challenging for all levels. And what we found is, and this is no reflection on us, but what we found is this discipline, if that's the word for it, really brings on individual shooting because people aren't being measured and counted as they would do in a typical clay environment. They're more relaxed, got their friends around them, you know, and by the end of the day, there's a lady here on the first drive said, oh, this is beyond me, I can't do it. She was hitting them on the last drive. She said, I've never hit clays that high before. So, yeah, it's a real testament as a learning environment.
Marianne, or Mars to her friends, introduces a lot of women to shooting. She says it is vital for any beginner to start with the right gun.
For the beginner, that first experience has got to be right. It's so important. So my ladies that first come for a taster, it's normally a very, very light 20 gauge, 30-inch barrel gun, and I'm always using the lowest recoil cartridges, 21 grams. And they go away, they've enjoyed it, they're not black and blue, they're with someone that has got the correct equipment and also coaching and teaching them how to hold the gun and shoot correctly. If they purchase their gun, I always recommend them to go. We have a gunsmith that completely looks after the dynamic ladies and the dynamic lads, called Tom, and he's local to us at Southdown, and he will professionally gun fit all the ladies with their guns, and then I can start them on their journey. It's very difficult to start people on their journey if they have a gun that just doesn't fit them. So I think it's so important to get it correct at the very beginning, and then the progress is obviously successful with a correct gun.
Gamekeeper's wife, Ree Sutton, went about things all the wrong way.
Basically, I disgraced myself on a beater's day. And I was like, being a keeper's wife, I cannot not shoot. So I started with any gun that anyone would give me, which basically really did not help my situation. And then on the beater's day where I decided I really need to sort myself out, my uncle was actually out and he had a silver pigeon. And he was like, have a go with this. And I did, and I actually hit something. So then I was like, that's it, I'm having a silver pigeon. This is what I'm shooting. And that's what I started my journey with. However, the further I went down the line, the more I needed to, we realised that the gun just wasn't actually a great fit. So my advice, especially to anyone, and especially as women, A, find a coach that understands as a woman you're completely different shape to men. There are so many more factors you've got to think about. And even weight gain, weight loss is a massive factor. I was very lucky that I had a really good gunsmith. I just had a baby when I'd got this gun and he knew I was going to change. So instead of putting an adjustable cone in straight away, he was like, right, we're going to do this because I don't want to put an adjustable in and then make it too short because I know you're going to change shape. And thank God he did that. So he took 1.5 inches off and then it actually made it fit a lot better. And then as soon as I sort of dropped the baby weight, I had the cone put in and that back on because my shooting went downhill again. And just little tiny things like that. That's why I always say it's really important to find the weight of gun you like. So go to the shop, wang them around. I call it the Harry Potter moment. You'll pick up a gun and you'll literally be like, whoa, this is the one. And then go and get it fitted. Before you go and shoot a clay with it, get it fitted. And that's probably the best bit of advice I say to people because gun fit makes a huge difference. They are the rare people that can just pick up any gun and blow stuff up with it. But if you really, really want to home it and get a skill, then you really need to get it fitted.
By contrast, Samantha Hockley took the recommended route into shooting, going to Mars for an introductory session.
So obviously when you start having lessons, you're kind of subject to what guns are available at the time. I was very fortunate. Mars produced, it was a Browning 525, I think it was a Liberty Light, and it was, we honestly call it our glass slipper moment. And the minute she put that in my shoulder, because I hadn't, like I say, first lesson wasn't great in the sense it was me overanalyzing everything as I do. But she put this gun in my shoulder and suddenly, light bulb, it just was such a joy to shoot. It was very easy to shoot and I'll never forget it. So we persevered through that. And then I've had I'm very fortunate to have been able to try a couple of other brands, different types, different makes. But ultimately, I just still remember that when it fits and feels right. So when it came to me getting my first gun, I kind of went to that kind of feeling. And Browning has always been a make I've enjoyed. I've seen Mars giving me that first Browning to try. There's something about the feel, how solid it is and how comfortable it is. I just know I'm in safe hands with it. So I've had a 725 was my first 2 gun. And I'm a very lucky lady. It's a big birthday coming up and this is my new my new gun. This is my 825 Pro Sport. The last one I learnt to shoot it, whereas now this has all been sized up, I've had it fitted, I've had it adjusted. It's going to see me through the rest of my shooting career and it fits, it's like putting a slipper on, it's just, everything fits in the right place and the shooting's just such an easy thing to do now, it's lovely.
Alternatively, you could just trust to luck. It worked for Deline McDowell.
When I started shooting, I was talking to a gunsmith friend who suggested I start with a 20 bore, just to start getting used to carrying it around, starting the muscle memory. And 2 years later, I'm still shooting with the same 20 bore. It's a Silver Pigeon. I love my gun. I have named it. I look after it. It's nothing special. It's not expensive, but it's very special to me because it's my first gun. I don't think I will get rid of it. I am in the market at the moment looking for a 12. I think I'm ready for a bigger gun. People say a gun will find you. So I have been looking around. The gun hasn't found me yet. I keep saying, can you find me now? Because I'm ready. But yes, there's just so much variety. But it's great talking to people obviously in the business, gunsmiths, and someone like Mars who's got an affiliation with Browning. So the opportunity to shoot with different guns is great. Not when you buy a car, you don't really get to drive around that many cars. But with a gun, you get the opportunity to have to shoot with a lot of different brands.
There is clearly more to it than just buying a gun advertised as designed for ladies.
Yeah, I mean, there is gun makers that are making a sort of Monte Carlo high stock. But actually, I really think we should come away from thinking a female gun and a male gun because, some of these guns that they say a lady gun is perfect for a 5'2" lady. However, I'm 5'9". Those sort of guns don't fit me. So I think we should come away from thinking that's a female gun, that's a male gun, because some of the higher Monte Carlo stock guns actually fit lots of gentlemen. But I think if you mark it with a feminine name, you will avoid purchases from the opposite sex. That's just my personal opinion.
So what's the best advice for anyone, male or female, thinking of buying their first gun?
First protocol's always got to be a qualified instructor and coach. They, if they are doing their job correctly, will always make sure they've got the right equipment, and if they haven't, or if they have purchased a gun, they should be really recommending to their clients to go and see a gunsmith to make sure that gun's professionally fitted to them.
Getting it right means you can concentrate on enjoying a day like this one with your new shooting friends.
Just been phenomenal, it really has. The grounds, the targets, the company as always. The hospitality's just been amazing as well. Really, really enjoyed it. It's just been amazing. So glad managed to get here, and yeah, just great. There's something about the energy Mars interjects to it, and it just rubs off on all of us, and we're all supporting each other, we're all having a laugh, and I think when everyone relaxes and has a good time, the results speak for themselves. The shooting's brilliant. Everyone just, bounces off each other. It's a great atmosphere to be part of, it really is.
There are links below for the Dynamic Ladies Shooting Club and JDJ Sporting Clays, and for more about Browning guns, go to browning.eu.
This is more than a show. It's the Great British Shooting Show, the biggest celebration of shooting in the UK, bar none. From airguns to optics, country style to sport, it's where every shooter belongs. 3 incredible days, from the 13th to the 15th of February 2026 at the NEC Birmingham. No distractions, just the very best of British shooting and beyond, all under one roof. Book now at shootingshow.co.uk.
Now, our podcast this week is with Iona Campbell, who set up Women Who Work in Field Sports, and Basque Vice Chair Claire Sadler, who runs Women in Shooting. They explain their work.
Every single one of us here wants to still be shooting in 10 years, 20 years, 30 years. So what I ask myself, and I hold myself to a very high level of what can I personally do? How can I help promote and secure the future of shooting? One way we can do that is keeping new members coming in speaking to the women, because women who are mothers have children that you then bring along, and so you've got a whole new generation that you're speaking to, and we can double the size of our community. All it takes is just encourage one person in your entire shooting lifetime. Encourage one person, and the whole industry is doubled. So from my perspective, I'm not looking and saying, oh, there's a problem over here. I'm thinking, well, how can we improve the numbers? How can we keep more women coming in? And it's, for me as well, Charlie, I've got a 4-year-old, well, soon to be 4-year-old. I'm super passionate about the outdoors lifestyle, and if you can encourage children into the outdoors, step one, then they hopefully will find their way into fishing, shooting, stalking, and what have you. But there are so many women out there who think once they have a child, they have to stay at home, or they can't go and do things, and, oh, we'll wait till the baby's older. And Monty was 6 months old, I strapped him to my front, took the 2 dogs, and we hiked a coastal path. And then I show it all on social media and show, hey, look, you can go and do these things. So for me, it's more about inspiring than trying to deal with a problem that's over here, and building that sense of community. That's, again, another core theme with what we're all trying to do. Women on the whole, they like to be part of something, and if you can create something that inspires, gives opportunities and educates, you're onto a winner.
Yeah, well, men love being part of something, which is one of the reasons we go shooting, obviously. And Iona, you're nodding. Is it about the inspiration for you?
Yeah, I think you summed it up so beautifully. It really is just to get everyone involved in the industry. And I mean, I'd say Louise really well getting game in there as well, and doing it to your child and things like that. It's just all about getting more and more momentum, and social media is such a good way of doing it, and actually showing real life examples of women doing this and anyone doing it, just to get it out there. I think that's just so important.
Thanks, Iona and Claire. And I recorded that at the Game Fair, of course, back in July 2025, and you can watch the whole thing on our podcast this week, link below. That's it for this week. If you haven't done so already, please visit our website, fieldsportschannel.tv, where you can click like us on Facebook and Instagram. You can follow us on X and TikTok, subscribe to us on YouTube, or pop your email address into our weekly newsletter box. And we'll contact you about this show. Fieldsports Britain is at 7 p.m. UK time every Wednesday. And this has been Fieldsports Britain. Good hunting, good shooting, good fishing, and goodbye.